What is up, guys, and welcome to your February 1st, 2021 WWE Monday Night Raw review, and we need to talk about what the fuck happened. So this was the fallout from the Royal Rumble, and let's talk about Alexa Bliss. What the fuck just happened? We're going to get into Bad Bunny and Edge in a little bit, and Drew McIntyre. But first, let's get into this. So, it was Randy Orton versus Edge in the main event, and they're fighting, they're doing this, they're doing that. And out of nowhere, like, there's some weird music type effect playing, and there's Alexa Bliss in the corner. You're gonna see it in the thumbnail, and she has this weird, like, she's bleeding from the mouth. And then Randy Orton took his eyes off of Edge, and Edge speared him, and 1, 2, 3, Edge wins. And I don't know what the fuck happened here, man. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna discuss that later, but that's what happened with Alexa Bliss. With Bad Bunny, he was talking with Damian Priest, and Damian Priest was like, "Yo, I got you if you need me." So Bad Bunny pulls up in a car, blah blah blah. Then he's on Miz TV. He pulls out Miz TV, and they're going back and forth with Miz and Morrison. I don't know why. Who gives a shit? And then Damian Priest, he's like, "Yo, I got backup." And then it's Damian Priest. Damian Priest beats up Miz and Morrison, and it sets up Miz versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest won, I think. Then what happened with Edge? So Drew McIntyre, he started off the show. And he's like, "Oh yes, I beat Goldberg, this and that." Then he's like, "I got an opponent or some shit." And then Edge comes out. Drew McIntyre pulls him over, puts him over. He's like, "Yo, I respect you. You're great. You're this and that." Edge is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? I just won the Royal Rumble, and you're like, I'm a threat, this and that." Sheamus is a key factor in this one tonight. Sheamus is like, "Edge, like, you're talking to Drew McIntyre, you're a nobody, who are you, this and that." And then, so, by the way, Edge hasn't declared anyone yet who's going to fight. It's probably going to be someone else. I don't know if you wanted it to be spoiled, but let me know if you want me to. Edge versus Sheamus, then, so Edge leaves, he's like, whatever, and then Drew McIntyre, Sheamus is behind Drew McIntyre, and then, I knew this was coming, Drew McIntyre turns around, and Sheamus bro kicks Drew McIntyre. Then after on commentary, Sheamus is like, "I'm tired of being known as Drew McIntyre's friend, even though he's Sheamus and never." But then Drew Gulak gets his bags and shit, and he leaves. And then Drew McIntyre responds later. He's like, "Oh, you want a match?" And Drew McIntyre was like crying too. He's like, "You want a match? You got it." He was crying. I was surprised by that. So we're gonna get into all this later. Let's continue with Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle wins by disqualification. I don't know what the fuck. Or Drew, like, MVP Bobby Lashley did win. I don't know, but Bobby Lashley continues to beat the shit out of Matt Riddle. He's not listening to MVP. Bobby Lashley's aggressive, and then Bobby Lashley leaves, and MVP's grinning, smiling, so he's happy. We'll see what the fuck happens there. I don't fucking know. Then there's a recap of Women's Tag Team Championships. Who gives a fuck? Bad Bunny pulls up. Matt Riddle is dazed and confused outside after the commercial. Whatever. Randy Orton cuts a promo, and he's like, "I never thought Edge would win, this and that," and he's all salty. And so he's setting up their match. Xavier's talking to Kofi, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. Kofi's still not cleared to compete. Mustafa Ali versus Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods wins, I figured. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest shit. Miz and Morrison segment. Damian Priest is looking good. Damian Priest did win, so there you go. And then enough with the Bad Bunny shit. Like, I don't have a problem with Bad Bunny himself, but you know, he's cool. He's definitely a big name in the music industry, but like I couldn't think of a way for me to care any less of Miz and Morrison. Like, how is this supposed to make them look good? Like, who gives a shit? Like, Damian Priest and is gonna feud with Miz and Morrison. Who the fuck cares? It's not like, please, like, I have no problem with Bad Bunny, but stop. Seriously. Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander versus and Sean Benjamin versus Lucha House Party. Who gives a fuck? They have a dead tag team division, and Sean Benjamin surprises Cedric this time, tags himself in, and they pick up the win against the Lucha House Party. So yeah, Hurt Business is still running it. Asuka and Charlotte are interviewed backstage, and how last night's gonna play a factor, and blah blah blah. So whatever. Asuka and Charlotte versus Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose versus Lana and Naomi. I feel bad for Naomi. She's coming back to this disaster. Please burn the women's tag team championships. Ric Flair and Lacey Evans distract Charlotte again, but Naomi capitalizes and does her finisher on Asuka and pins Asuka clean. I hope Asuka should say fuck Lana and say I pinned a women's champion, the women's singles champion. I want my match because I like Naomi. Naomi's good shit. Drew McIntyre was interviewed. Oh, this was actually pretty smooth sailing. So then Carlito, I forgot to tell you guys, Carlito was in action. No Christian on the show. Carlito and Jeff Hardy versus Alliance and Jackson Riker. Jeff Hardy pinned Alliance clean. Carlito looks good. He looks big, and I don't know where he goes from here, but he's probably going to be a producer. Let's hope he gets some in-ring action. Edge does another promo, setting up for shit. Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. So during the match, like, Alexa Bliss changed back and forth. Nikki Cross like, I don't want to fight you or whatever the fuck. And Alexa Bliss beat Nikki Cross with her sister Abigail. Edge was shown backstage, and he ran into Damian Priest like, yo, I like your shit, and this and that. So then you had the main event, Alexa Bliss, Edge versus Randy Orton, and this was the show. It's essentially the same Monday Night Raw, but with Edge and Carlito. No Christian. I'm surprised they didn't do anything with Christian. It was reported that Christian was a part-time competitor now, so he could have at least done an appearance. I mean, it's not wasting a match, but whatever. Maybe he's on the SmackDown brand and gonna fight Big E for the title. So who the fuck knows? But it's been. I'm gonna get to this. Is the end. Nobody's really probably listening anymore. But it is being reported that Edge is gonna be picking Roman Reigns. He's gonna be challenging Roman Reigns. Whatever, I don't know. Roman Reigns is not losing, so Edge is not winning the title. So I don't know what else to fucking say, but that was it for today's review, guys. I hope you enjoyed what you saw in the video. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, turn that notification bell on. You know, I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. The last review for Monday Night Raw really banged. I'm going to have more content again this week. I have a lot of ideas. I should have one dropping tomorrow about, you know, the stuff with Undertaker and Edge, and Undertaker and Chris Jericho, with the controversy there. But that's going to be it, guys. See you guys for the next one later. Hope you have a good one.